You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
It's time to knock some things off your bucket list. First up, travel the world. If you've always wanted to visit Hong Kong or vacation in the Swiss Alps and wondered what it was like, well, Jeanette, Yvette, and Tina got the scoop for you. These jet-setting divas are always at some fun and exotic place experiencing the best of what life has to offer. And each week, they'll tell you all about it. These ladies are always high-flying loads of fun.
Hey, I'm Jeanette.
I'm Yvette.
Okay, she got her hair. And this is Tina, and we are the Jet Setting Divas. Hey, ladies, what's going on in the world of travel?
Jeanette gonna tell us today.
Oh, Jeanette, you're leading us today. Tell us what's going on, because you know what? We've been on vacation.
There's a lot going on in 2026, ladies. Welcome and Happy New Year.
Happy New
Year.
Happy New Year.
So for 2026, there's a lot of changes in travel. One thing that we're seeing for Southwest Airlines, they're saying that starting on the 27th of this month, they're having a new policy that if you are plus size, and I don't know what exactly they mean by plus size. I don't know if they're going to be weighing people or what they're going to be saying.
They may start asking for weight on your tapes when you book your ticket.
I've looked at it, and we'll be putting more information on our social media, but they're saying plus size, you will have to purchase now 2 seats. You won't be able to have 1 seat and then be able to if you're plus side and you
the side of somebody else.
I think
if you may spill over into a second seat, you have to purchase 2 seats. What do you all think about that?
I think the individual, you will know if you can fit in that seat or not, and you will know if you need to buy. But that's not new.
But think about it. Some people don't believe that they're as big as they are. You know, I've had family members, and we've gone to events, and you know, you want to be considerate of everyone's size and everything, but even things like sitting in the booths and things like that, they'll say, I don't want to sit there, or I don't want to do that, as opposed to saying, you know what, I'm too big to sit here. So
have you all had this situation?
People don't realize that they are big. The seats are not big enough for them. That's what I'm going to say.
I think people who are big, they just don't travel. But the people who are they know that they can fit in that seat, they get on the plane.
You know doggone well, you see them sisters traveling all over the world. They be in Italy and Greece, and what they do is they ask for an extension. I
see many of them asking for extenders,
and they
get that extender.
And it's no problem.
Extenders are seat belts. That is not the seat.
Yeah, but they can still fit in that seat.
So
technically, if you got to get an extender,
people who know that they can fit in those seats, they don't travel. I
don't believe that they don't travel. I believe they travel. They just try to squeeze into that little seat and make it uncomfortable for the people around them.
That's what they do, because I'll tell you.
Before.
I will tell you all, I had a flight once. There was a lady that sat next to me. I was flying out of Orlando, flying back to Dallas, and she was fitting in half of her seat, her whole seat, and then half of my seat. And it was a very uncomfortable flight for me
Yep.
because she was over in half of my seat. And
Yep.
so I was over here because she was all in my seat.
Yeah.
And it was just it was a terrible, and she was so, and I'm all the way over here because it was just a terrible flight for me because she took
I
up,
know.
well,
And I mean, but
you know
we gotta
what,
say the same thing about dogs. Do you know how big the dog was on the last flight I was on? They
Yeah.
should have purchased that dog a seat. That dog was 140 pounds for sure. And the dog was just sitting, it was just the lady was trying to keep the dog out of the aisle and keep the dog out of the space of, well, they were on my row. I was at the window. This person was in the middle. And I was like, this lady needed to purchase a seat for the dog. If you got
Yep.
emotional support, same thing. You need to buy a ticket for
and
the
where
dog.
was the dog at down in the dog was on the
Trying to
floor?
sit.
The
The dog
dog
was
is
trying to
supposed to
sit.
be on the floor.
The dog was
Oh.
was too big to fit under the seat. The dog was too big. The dog was huge. And it was like, really? We gotta endure this big old
And
dog
you know what?
on the plane.
I tolerated that lady that sat next to me who
And
was so big that she was in half of my seat. But I don't know if I could have tolerated a dog. I mean,
Yeah.
no.
I'm just not
If
that.
you on a flight that's
I
not
don't know if I could have
full,
tolerated it.
if you're on a flight that's not full, the flight is not full, you can ask for a different seat.
Yeah.
But if the flight is full, you're in a bad situation.
But think
So
about
you
think
gotta
about it. Those
tolerate
times
that.
when we paid for these extra upgrades to sit in a certain section. If I go and sit in my seat and then someone sits next to us, sit next to me, and I have to inconvenience myself now and go move but I'm waiting for I may pay for the drink package, or maybe I paid for a movie package,
Or maybe you will ask that they move.
yes. And and then or am I rude? Because I feel like it's going to be a hard policy to enforce off the bat, because people are not going to put in their weight. People are not going to buy two tickets at once.
But you know what people are going to have to do? They're going to have to start complaining, and they're going to have to start saying, "Wait a
Complaining.
minute, somebody is there. This person is in my seat." Just like I didn't complain about that person who was in my seat. Half of their body was over into my
Yeah.
seat. They're going to have to start complaining. And
Yeah.
you don't
But
want
then
to do
a
that to
complaint
people, and you
starts
don't
a
want to
fight.
make somebody feel bad. But I'm sorry, if you are in your seat and then half of my seat too, you're gonna have to pay. You need to buy two seats so that you can have enough space so that you don't in somebody else's seat.
Yeah, I think that is the logical thing to do, but is that the thing that they're going to do? I just don't believe they're going to do it. I just don't believe.
No,
I mean, I've
people don't care.
watched them, and
They
even I
don't
know
care.
you've seen them on flights. They just squeeze their little self in there, ask for an extender, and
Is it their little self or their big self?
they big self in that seat, ask for that extender, and try not to move, and they just be uncomfortable for 2-3 hours, which is crazy.
And they have you uncomfortable too.
Yes. I mean, one time that it was, body heat. And when your body touch somebody else and they are, right there on you, that's body heat. I'm burnt. You can burn up in there touching somebody else's body.
And especially when you're a certain age.
Yeah.
Right. Menopause.
Yes. Menopause. Yeah. You can't be doing all of that. So I think that Southwest does, it makes sense, because I'm sure they probably had complaints. They had complaints.
And in fact, all the airlines need to do this.
But enforcing, like you said, Jeanette, it's going to require the customer saying, hey, you know what? This person is in my seat. Because if you don't complain, because you got to go back to, why did I get married? You remember when Jill Scott got on that plane and her husband didn't want to move over. As opposed to the husband sitting with her, she went sat in another seat, and the customer is going to have to complain and say, you know what?
No, she had to get off the plane and she had to drive to their location.
Yeah, but that's why she had to drive, because she was sitting next to somebody and they was like, she can't sit next to me, and So
That's sad.
it's sad.
That's sad. That
Yeah,
really
it
And,
is.
and the other
so
part about it is people with priority, like the people that are on Southwest that have all of these, exclusive benefits. What are you going to do? They are going to they automatically go and purchase a seat, and nobody says anything. They still
Yeah.
get their bags for free. They still get to sit. They may not have to be able to sit. Do that seating arrangement, but then you think they're going to be like, oh hi, I'm going to have to buy 2 tickets now. Now, do they get double benefits?
We'll see.
I would hope so.
So we will see that's all they've got to about figure out a lot of things.
Yeah.
Another thing that's coming, ladies, this year that'll be travel difference is with the real ID. The new real ID is that you must have a star in the right-hand corner of your ID.
Right.
If you don't have that star in the right-hand corner of your ID, you'll have to pay $45 when you go to the airport, and you will have to have your either some other type of form of ID. So if you get there late, you may not be able to get on your flight. You're going to have to, they will have to take you off to the side and either look at your passport. They'll have to confirm you in another type of way.
Yeah.
So people need to know about this. They can either go on the TSA website and be confirmed another type of way, but this all starts. They've been talking about this real ID for a while now, and some people haven't been paying it any attention, but you have to have that star on your ID, and if you don't have that star on your ID, you're going to immediately have to pay $45 to be confirmed.
So this is for people who have not had to update renew their driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it
Or
is.
identification card.
They like right on the border, on the edge, and they just never renew it. Yeah.
And I think if you've gotten a new license since 2022, you should have the real ID. But if you have not gotten a new picture card license since before then you need to make sure you got that star. But what gets me is I understand the airlines are doing it. When we used to have to write checks, you used to have to show your ID. There are no other than the police stopping you. Nobody ever really asks for your ID other than at the airport anymore. So a lot of people haven't even pulled out their driver's license and looked at it in years.
They don't know.
They don't even know. Because I know we've said this several times. We've probably even posted it on our page a few times, and we'll repost it. But you know what? I just think people don't pay attention until, oh, Mom, we're getting ready to go on a trip. Then everybody gets to the airport, and then they look at it, and they was like, they didn't have the conversation.
My ID expired, or
my ID.
Just like you say, 6 months. Like they're gonna require your passport. It can't expire within 6 months of you going out of the country.
Yeah, because they don't know how long you're gonna be gone. They don't know.
Well, I still get carded. I still get carded, ladies. So.
Well, when you buy alcohol, I think that's just a requirement that you show your ID. But I'm talking about.
I don't care if you look 70, they still gonna card you.
Yeah, they card everybody. But I'm saying though there are people who, unless they are going, if you don't drink alcohol, you ain't going to no club or place and buying some. They ain't looked at their ID, and I'm telling you, my ID has. Luckily, my ID won't expire until 2028. So so think about it. If I ain't went nowhere, I ain't looked at that ID.
You okay? So this conversation is making me go look at my passport and my IDs.
Yeah, because I know my passport.
I just got mine. I had a birthday recently, so I just got mine. Looked at, so I just got a new ID, so that's why I know.
To look at mine to see when the expiration. Well, I know mine expired during COVID, and I wasn't able to renew it.
Yeah, because I know the only thing that's expired is my my global entry thing. It expired because I didn't realize it was only like 5 years on that. I thought that went.
So listeners, go and look at your passport. Go and look at your driver's license, your ID, and look at your dates.
Yes,
because some people don't realize, and then when they get ready to go on a trip, and it's about to expire or it have expired, then you can't go. Yeah. You need to make sure your stuff is up to date.
Yeah. And then we heard somebody say that the whole family canceled a trip because
Yeah.
somebody
That's
didn't have a
that's
good
exactly.
passport. Well, you know what? That was one of the things that we that was part of the group chat. Check your ID. Make sure y'all have your passport. Make sure your passport is valid. Make sure you got your birth certificate. Make sure. So we were like, we constantly saying that. And in the group chat and in the WhatsApp, y'all better be asking the right questions, because how your mama ain't ask you if your ID is about to expire? She
And with
probably
the
was the one
passport,
who she probably was the one who got your
yeah.
passport the last time.
And with the passports, they must be, for you to leave the country, your passport must be valid for up to 6 months
No, it
for
can't.
you
It
to
can't,
be able
it
to
can't
leave the
expire
country.
within 6
It can't
months.
Yeah.
expire. It can't expire within 6 months.
Mhm.
So this family, one of the daughters, her passport would expire within a month, and so she wasn't able to leave the country. She wasn't able to go. She could leave, but she couldn't get into Mexico. So the family just said, we won't go on our trip. I was thinking, okay, you stay at home where everybody else is going. We can't help it that you wouldn't pay attention to your passport and you didn't get it extended, and you didn't, because I was looking last year when my passport was getting ready to expire. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my passport. I'm gonna go ahead and get my passport
But when you
renewed.
when
I
you
didn't
think
want a
about
problem.
these new travelers, think about when we go travel, these young people are 18, 19, 20-year olds. You know what? They need to, they need the information. We
You do.
experienced travelers. It's a lot of them that are just not experienced. They just got a real driver's license, period. So now they have the, they want to go on spring break. They want to go to Cancun or go someplace like that. You know what? It is a conversation that either the passport office, your parents, or somebody when you booking a trip, they need to be telling them, you know what, your passport, just like a driver's license, expires. And
This
I think that
conversation is making me think I need to check with my daughters and make sure their
exactly.
stuff
You
is up to
do.
date.
You do. They're big kids. You
Yeah,
do.
and that's the truth, because I was just traveling with my son, but I knew that he had gotten a passport in order, right before he got married. So I knew his passport was good. And if you have a passport and you don't have a real ID, you can use your passport. So your passport
Yeah.
is valid if for some reason you don't have a star on your ID. But you know what? You got to go back but I still feel like I need to tell them, like your driver's license, you can't pull up here like 8 years from now thinking you're going to use pull out that same passport and it's going to work.
Right.
You got to make sure that you looked at the date, because that thing probably already expired.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't been on a vacation since you went with your mama, then it's probably
Yes.
expired.
Yeah.
That I'm telling you,
it's good information. That is good information.
Yeah,
so everybody check your stuff and make sure you up to date.
Yes.
And your kids, you know what? You
Yes.
parents, check on your adult kids. If they in their 20s and you got their passport, let them know they need to go and make sure their passport is still up.
Or just remind everybody, check your passport. Make sure that just because it does not expire today or next month, if it expires within the next 6 months, they still are not good. So
yeah, I mean, that's good information, and I'm here for it. Well, ladies, y'all, I think we done gave them everything they need to know. They better get this stuff together. And it's
at least get
January
this year
already.
started
It's
out.
2026.
A new travel season.
Yep.
We used to see that on our passport. 2020, something was going to expire in 2026. Well, it's here now.
Well, I'm Jeanette.
And I'm Yvette.
And I'm Tina. And we are the Jet Setting Divas.
Happy New Year.
Tune in next Thursday when the Jet Setting Divas will tell you about another fun destination spot that you'll want to visit. For more on their excursions, log on to ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
Want to own a home, especially your first? Well then, welcome home to the Old National Bank Down Payment Assistance Program. We're here to help you from start to finish and make getting a mortgage a little easier. Plus, you may be eligible for up to $15,000 to use toward your down payment. How's that for a little easier? Everyone deserves a place to call home and a bank to help get them there. Connect with an Old National mortgage lender to learn more. Old National Bank. Get old in your new home.
Hey, it's your girl Shaletta. Are you over there running low on your insulin supply and worried how you're going to pay for it? Minnesota's Insulin Safety Net programs got you covered. If you have less than a 7-day supply of insulin, you can get a 30-day refill for just $35 at any Minnesota pharmacy. Go to mninsulin.org today, print out the application, complete the form, and just take it in to your pharmacy. Go to mninsulin.org.